Hello and welcome to your stretch and release class. So I really don't have a title or a specific focal body part for this stretch and release class. We're going to work just a little bit of everything. More of a freestyle stretch and release. So you'll get some hip opening, you'll get some hamstring stretch, you'll get some stretch for your side body, for your back. So a little bit of everything to help you wind down for your day. So to begin class, have a couple blocks with you if you feel like you like a little bit of support. I don't have a bolster with me, but if you like a bolster, if you like something to help you relax a little bit more as we finish out, bring that along with you. And let's get started standing. So come towards the back of your mat. I'll face forward and just relax your palms down. Take a deep inhalation in through your nose. And then exhale, release it out. Just shutting everything out, shutting everything away while you spend this time for yourself. Take a big sweeping inhale, lift your arms up high overhead. And then exhale, just take a baby back bend, opening up through the collarbones, pull your elbows forward. Shift your weight into your heels, lean back. And then inhale, reach tall. And then exhale, swan dive it forward. So I'm over on the side of your frame. Just bring your feet about hip width distance wide and then bend your knees, big generous bend, so that your belly makes contact with your thighs. Let your head hang heavy. Palms can stay rested on the mat. You can reach for opposite elbows. Just find anything, any kind of organic movement that just weights your head, weights your body down. Let all of that negativity and stress of your day just wash down your spine. And just shake it out here. You can begin to straighten your legs. If you have a little more mobility in your hamstrings, maybe you straighten one then the other. Feels so nice. And then inhale, lift to a flat back. Just keep your knees bent for this flat back. Draw your navel to your spine. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. Lengthen long. And then exhale, fold it forward. And this time just begin to walk your hands forward. Come to your tabletop position. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Be really meticulous in your movements. So feel every articulation of your spine moving really slow. Open up through the collarbones. Find activity through the fingers, activity through the toes, under the arms. And just keep it moving. And then find your organic cat-cow. Swaying right and left, rolling the shoulders, the neck. Whatever feels good for you. Wherever you hold stress from your day, maybe you flip your wrists. Just find any little movements. This is your time to get all of the kinks out. And then arrive back at your tabletop position. Just hover your knees slightly. So we're not doing any big strength moves, but just a slight hover. And then draw your hips back and then move into your down dog. Just beginning to bend and straighten into the legs. Rolling the ankles, feeling the creaks. Expand through the sides of the waist. Get really long. Lengthen through your hamstrings, your calves as your heels sink towards the earth. Then inhale, hinge forward. And then as you hinge forward, your shoulders shift over your wrists. Drop to your knees. Drop to your chest. And inhale, slide it through. Release your tops of your feet down to the mat. Arms come to 10 and 2 up on spider fingers. Inhale, cobra pose. Press into your fingertips to lift your chest. Press the tops of your feet down. Let's just take 5 of those rolling. So Exhale, lower down. And then big inhale, lift high. And then each time, maybe you get your ribs up a little bit higher. Maybe your belly button even floats up off the mat. Roll your shoulder blades down. Let's do 3 more. Big inhalation in as you lift, filling the chest. And exhaling, let it all out. 2 more of those. Inhale, floating cobra. And then exhale, lower down. Then on this one, as you inhale, hold it up high. Maybe you float your toes. Maybe you can float your hands. Sweep the hands back behind you for locust. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Cross your forearms over. Plant your temple down. Just give your legs a little rock. Breathe in. Then let it go. Bring your palms under your shoulders. Press back to your knees. And then once you're in your tabletop position, extend your right foot out to the side. So create a little kickstand. Your right big toe is in line with your left knee. And then take a few cat-cows from here. Should feel really good after that rolling cobra. Draw your tailbone down as you draw your back ribs to the sky. One more time through. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. This time, plant your right hand to the middle of your mat. Open up to the best of your ability to the left. It's a little bit hard. And then exhale, thread the needle. Bring your left shoulder down. Rest on your temple, the side of your head. You can extend your right fingertips forward and just sink into the stretch. Swivel your left hip forward and then continue to press into the knife edge of your right foot. Option to sweep the right hand up and over. Find your hip crease and find a little opening through the collarbones. Little extra rotation. You can stay here. Maybe you reach your fingers for your big toe. Just whatever feels good. Opening up. One more breath. Then extend the right hand forward. It comes to plant under your right shoulder. Inhale, unwind, and then press back. So stay with your right leg out into your kickstand. I like to tuck my back toes for this. Slowly begin to sit down on your heel. And again, you can have your toes untucked. I like to keep mine tucked. And then walk towards the right side. The sole of the foot is still down, so it's a big side body stretch on the left, as well as a nice groin, inner thigh stretch on the right. Breathe in. And then exhale, sink lower. Then release the foot all the way down. Walk your hands back, and then slowly sit your hips down. Your leg is tucked back behind you on the left. And then slowly see if you can begin to make your way back onto your palms. So hips are tracking down. You can stay here. You also have your blocks. You can bring those under your forearms. And maybe you lower down to your forearms. Take your time, just feeling the hips open up. You get a nice quadriceps stretch on the left as well. And then if you don't need the blocks, option to come all the way down. We're not going all the way down onto our backs, but just coming down to our forearms. Finding the stretch. Breathe in. And then let it go. And then slowly make your way back up. Bend your right knee in. So let me scoot to the middle of that. So your legs are almost in a 90-degree angle each, maybe tucked in a little bit more. And just take a little spin to the right. Bring your left palm to your right knee. fingertips towards the back of your mat. Just take a little spiral of the spine. And your back fingertips give you a little lift. And then slowly begin to hinge over your right side. So begin to feel that all through your mid and low back. And then rise up, counter switch, stretch in the opposite direction. Gaze over your left shoulder. Nice, everyone. And then slowly make your way back to your tabletop position, however you want to get there. Find your strong tabletop, and this time the left foot steps out. The sole of the foot plants firmly on the floor, and find your cat-cows. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. The hips rotate under, tailbone draws down. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Tuck the low ribs and navel all the way in. Let's take that one more time. Inhale, cow pose. Release the belly. Lift the collarbone. Exhale, cat. And then come back to your flat back. Bring the left hand closer to the middle of your mat. And then inhale, lift the right fingertips high. Ooh, that's a spicy twist. And then come to thread the needle. Come down to your cheekbone, your temple, and then extend the left hand forward as you reach for your toes with your right hand. And then I like to play around here with maybe moving, shifting forward and back to find that really sticky spot where you want to stay and spend more time. You can stay here. Option to sweep the left arm up and over. Reach for the hip crease and maybe open up through the chest. You can take that. You can reach peace fingers for big toe. Or just stay here with your left hand extended. One more full round of breath. Breathe in. And then exhale, let it go. Slide your left palm back in. Press into it. Open up to the sky. And then plant your hands back. I like to tuck my toes for this. Just sit back. Almost like a one-legged child's pose, but your hips are a little more lifted. And then walk your hands over towards the left side of your space. You can release the toes if that's more comfortable. Just feel that stretch all through the inseam of your left leg. Stretch all along the right side body. Breathe in. And then sit lower. Then using your palms to guide you slowly, sit all the way back. Anchor down through your sits bones. You may need to move your right heel out just a little bit. And this stretch is pretty intense. You can stay here and just stay lifted on your fingertips. Or option to begin to walk your palms back just a little bit. With ease, take your time, just to the best of your ability. Find that spot where you can begin to relax through the right hip. Feel the stretch along the right quadricep. You have your blocks. You can bring those underneath your forearms for a little more support. And just begin to lean back. Try not to arch your back too much. Think of drawing your tailbone down, not necessarily scooping and squeezing it under, but just so it draws down, so it's in a more neutral position. And then if you want to go a little further without the blocks, you can begin to lower down to your forearms. I hope I'm still in my frame. And just stay here for one full round of breath. Breathe in. And then let it go. And then slowly make your way back up. Take your time. And then bend the left knee in. So you're in this deer pose. Take an inhale. Right hand comes to the left knee. Left fingertips down by your glute. And then just take a little spin. A little pinching sometimes in the hips. Just means we need to loosen up there a little bit more. If you get that little Charlie horse feeling, just ease out of it and then press back. Gaze over the left shoulder. One more breath. then switch it out. Find your counter twist. We've got to do our hover on this side. Just bring your chest to a hover. Press your right hip bone down. And then rise up, take your counter twist. And then slowly bring your legs up to center. I'll see facing you. Take a deep inhalation in. And let's take a side body stretch up and over to the right. Then sweep it forward, up and over to the left. One more time through each side, just getting really loose. And then maybe you open up and gaze at the ceiling. Then come all the way up. Just walk your fingertips forward. Snuggle your forearms in towards one another. Keep your sits bones grounded down. And just relax your head. And then inhale, roll all the way up. Switch out your legs. Extend your fingertips to the sky and take a baby back bend. Arms roll all the way up. And then fingertips walk all the way out again. A little bit different sensation with the opposite leg forward. We all have a dominant leg, a dominant side. And yoga gives us an opportunity to begin to provide more equilibrium between the right and the left side. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Let's take an extended angle. So a wide angle, Upavishta Konasana. So bring your legs to a wide angle. So it doesn't matter if your legs are all the way out to the side or if you have a small wide angle, that's perfectly fine. And I like to use my blocks here to give myself a little support for my forehead. So find a long, straight spine, knees pointing to the ceiling, toes are flexed. And then just begin to hinge your body forward. Finding whatever that edge is for you. If this is as far as you go today, then find your blocks. Bring your forearms to rest on your block. But I want you to keep that flat back. You can even pull your elbows in towards you to help find some strengthening and lengthening through the spine. If you feel like you can go a little further, you can begin to lower the block down as long as you can hinge with a flat back. And then find a resting spot. Palms come to touch. And you can begin to just as you spend a few breaths here, you feel your body opening up, you can begin to lower the block. As long as you find that long, straight spine, see if you can let go of that gripping that we often do when we get into uncomfortable postures that we're not quite used to. And then if you can continue to do it, you can maybe lose the block. Come down to your forearms and pull your forearms, elbows back towards you to find that length through your spine. I even like to sometimes use my block and bring my forehead onto the block so I can spread my hands out wide, bringing peace fingers to big toes or just grabbing my ankles to help lengthen through my legs. So stay here for a couple more rounds of breath. Can be comfortably uncomfortable. Just try some different levels with the blocks. Challenge yourself. Breathe in. And then let it go. And slowly just walk your palms back up. Using your inner thigh strength, pull the soles of your feet together to touch. And then slide your forearms underneath. If you've taken my other classes, you know this is one of my favorite ending stretches. Use your bicep strength to curl your spine and draw the crown of your head towards your toes. Just feel your whole back opening up. Feel like little fingers expanding from the sides of your spine, just pulling and opening. And then release your hands. And we'll take a forward fold. Extend your heels out in front of you. A slight bend in your knees. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, reach it forward. You can stay here, or if you have a lot of mobility in your hamstrings, you can bring a block and begin to scoot your heels forward. I certainly don't need the block. I'm still working on just doing it with bent knees. Just finding length through your spine, drawing your navel in. Just feel that stretch all through your hamstrings, wrapping all the way around your glutes. Feel it even into your low back. And then inhale, rise all the way up. And then begin to lower down all the way onto your back. So we'll take some bridge pose here. You have your block. Bring your heels towards your butt. And then just lift your hips. Slide the block underneath. So it's right at that little crease, the beginning of your tailbone. You can stay here and just relax. If you have a little more extension through your spine, you can put the block even up on a higher level, if that feels more grounding to you. Keep the soles of the feet planted down, ground down through your heels, and then keep the inner thighs isometrically squeezing towards the midline, but not too intense. I want this to be a little restorative as well. We're not necessarily working to build strength. And then I actually think I like it on this lower level. So wherever it is for you, even if it's at the lowest level, just find where you can find a little support. And then slowly begin to bring your legs together. So you're balancing, your tailbone is balancing on the blocks. And just send your heels towards the sky. I like to just kind of relax my toes. You can shake your ankles. You can roll them around. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And then just let the knees fall in towards the chest. And then bring the feet down to the earth. Lift the hips up enough to be able to remove the block. Lower your hips down and then just knock your knees together. Bring your feet to the edges of your mat. Maybe your pinky toes rest on the edge of your mat. Bring your left foot, bring your ankle on top of the side of your right knee and just take a little easy twist. I like to cactus up my arms here. Just feel your right hip point pulling down towards the edge of your mat. Anchor the shoulder blades down. Maybe gaze to the right. Then inhale, come up. Plant the left foot to the side of the mat. Right ankle comes up and over to the outside of the left knee and just pulls it down. So your inner left thigh is pulling down towards the mat. But you're also getting that beautiful stretch through the shoulders, through the collarbones, through the pecs. And inhale, come all the way up. And then find your happy baby pose. Squeeze your knees in and then pull them out towards your side ribs. Send your heels to the sky. And then you can reach for your hamstrings. I know right away I reach for the sides of my feet. I'm a little tight today. Sometimes I like to hold on to my ankles. You can squeeze your elbows in to help pry the hips open. Something comforting and grounding about holding on to your own ankles, and rock a little from side to side. And then finally guide your knees back into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then you're welcome to move into a final Shavasana, or you can work into your fish pose. So I like 2 blocks for fish pose. First of all, bring your first block. I like it on this middle height. Bring it to, for females, it's at your bra strap, but just for men, it's at the base of your shoulder blades. And just point your toes. And then the other block, I like it on the highest height where you can rest your head. So the first block is supporting your back. And then instead of just letting your neck hang open and really exposing your throat in an unhealthy way, you have the block for support. Again, if you have a little more extension through your spine, you can lower the block down. But I have a really tight back, so I need the block up a little higher. And this, bring your feet about hip width distance apart, right in line with your hip points. You can let your hands fall open. You can reach for opposite elbows. Get a little more chest expansion. But just find that spot where you can find some stillness for a couple of minutes. I will leave you here, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful morning, wonderful day, wonderful evening, whatever it is for you. Take a deep breath in. And then find a long, extended exhale. I hope you join me again soon on your mat. Until then, my friends, namaste.